Okay, welcome back. We are still working on creating our Minecraft mods, and the next thing we're going to do is create our own block. Now, this is the third video of the videos for our class, so I'm assuming that you've already done the basic video where you created your mod, and that you've already created your sword. So the next thing will be creating the block. Okay, so we're going to jump right in and create the block image. And we're going to do that again by using a template. So we'll go over to Eclipse, and we'll go, let's close these all back up. Go to Minecraft, and then Templates, Resources, and Block. Now we'll see this sample block.png. We can press Command C to copy. Then we can Control click Source Main Resources. We're going to need to make a new place for our block. So we're going to make a new package. This is something that's very important to type correctly. We're going to call it assets.mymoddingtutorial.textures.blocks. Okay, and we're going to double check that. Assets, my modding tutorial.textures.blocks. Okay, that looks good. So we can select finish. Okay. Now we can control click that new package and then select paste. And now when we open the package, we see our sample block.png. And here's the slide for that. Pause here as needed. Okay, moving on to the next step. Editing the block image. So we're going to go back over to Eclipse. We're going to control click the sample block.png. Then we're going to select Open With, Other. And we're going to make sure External Program is selected. Press G to get down to GIMP. You can scroll down. There's GIMP. Press OK. Okay, and you can see our block is very basic right now. I'm going to zoom in so we can select View, Zoom, Other. We can change this to 5,000 is what I like to use. Okay. Now again, our drawing tool is too big now. So we're going to have to change our pencil tool. So we're going to go to Pencil, use the smallest, and then make it even smaller. Okay, and now we have a 1 pixel pencil tool. Now, this is actually going to be one side of the block. So if you can imagine a cube with this as one of the faces, that's what we're going to need to do. So I am going to make my rainbow block. I'm going to use the red. It looks like there's actually part of the image that's outside the viewable area. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Let's try 4,000 so that I can see the whole thing on the screen. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to start out with red. Move on to orange. Actually, you can see here are the colors I've used recently. I think I'm going to stick with those colors that I used in my sword just for some consistency. Generally, your mod should have a bit of a theme, so using similar colors is going to kind of reinforce the look of that. So I've got some yellow. Now what I'm doing is I'm holding down while I'm moving my pencil. I'm holding down to click the whole time. Okay, and now it looks like we need the blue. Oops. Now I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to paint over that the next time. And we'll do the purple. Now there's some other ways to do this too. I could use the square selection and select my next stripe, and then I could use the paint bucket tool and fill it in. I think I'm going to use that red next. So I think, there you go. I can use that a little bit more quickly. And then I could select this last stripe. And I think I'm going to go back to the orange and use the paint bucket again. Okay, so that's looking pretty rainbowy. I'm pretty happy with that. And you can see a little bit what it looks like smaller here. If you wanted to, you could also change the zoom. That's so small though. I think we want to be a little bit bigger just to give an idea of what it would look like in the game. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to the next step, but before I do, I'm going to show you the slide for this step. Okay. So here are the steps, and you can pause if you need this. Okay, now I'm going to go on. So, back to GIMP. This is our little GIMP guy down here with the paintbrush. Okay, so now we need to save this. So I'm going to go to File, Overwrite Sample Block.png, and then I'm going to close GIMP using GIMP, and then quit GIMP. And when it asks me, I'm going to say discard changes. Although really I've actually saved them. Okay, so now that sample block should be saved. Let me show you that slide. These are the directions if you need. Pause here. Okay, so onward, we need to add our code now. So we can go back to Eclipse. And we will add the block class. So we need to get that from templates. We're going to templates, code, then block. No, not, yes, templates code, then open that. Okay, then block. Okay, sample block class, open that up. And then Command A to select all, Command C to copy. Then I'm going to Control click in Source Main Java, my mod, Then I'm going to select new class. Call that class sample block. Okay. Press Command A and Command V to paste in the sample block code. Alright, take a look at this line. You can pause here as needed. Alright, moving on to the next step. We're going to add the block to main. So let's go back over to Eclipse, back over to our templates. So we're going to find the sample block main, and then we're going to select the whole line that starts public static. I want to start at the very beginning and select all the way, including that silly semicolon at the end, which is very, very important. Okay, now that it's all selected, press Command C to copy. Now we need to go into our main.java right here. So it's in Minecraft source main Java, my mod main.java. And just below the line where we defined our sword, so right here, we will define our block. We can press for new line, and that also helps us out by indenting here. You can see this is indented, so it's all at the same level. And then we can press Command V to paste. Now you can see Java's not happy about some things here. We have some red underlining. So first, let's import our block. Now there are a lot of blocks here, so we need to find the right one. So we need to find actually I don't see the right block. Let's try again. Okay. I believe the block we need to import from is actually in net Minecraft block. I'll let that be for now. Let's take a look over here at the material. I think we need to import from net Minecraft block material, and that's there. Okay, so Java's happy about that. And actually what we've added here is import net.minecraft.block.material.material. Let's see if this one still doesn't have the block. I'm thinking it should. Maybe can we scroll down? Is it further down in this list? There are more options. Oh, here it is. Okay. Import block, net Minecraft block. That's our block. Okay. So now you can see it's added. Import net.minecraft.block block. Okay. Java is feeling happy now. Okay, let's take a look at the slide for that. Here it is. And go ahead and pause as needed. And I'm going to move on to the next step. Okay, so now we need to add the block to the main part of our code to actually insert the game and insert the block into Minecraft, our game. So we're going to add to the game registry just like we did for our sample sword. So we need to go to templates, code, block, and then we have this sample block underscore main, and we need this line here, game registry, register block, sample block. So we'll go Command C, and then go back to our main.java. We want to put this under our sample stored registry entry, and we can use Command V to paste. So we're going to register our sample block. Awesome. Let's take a look at the slide. Your pause is needed here. Okay, then we'll go on to the next slide. Add the correct name for our item. So we need to go back to Eclipse, and we need to go into templates. Now this is going to be a resource because it's about configuration, even though it's a little bit looking like code. So we need to go into block, and then you'll see the sample block underscore en underscore us.text, and we need to copy this line here. Use Command C to copy. Then we need to select source main resources, then assets by modding tutorial lang, so right here, and then we have the en.underscore us.lang, and there's where we put our rainbow sword. Want to press enter for a new line, then we can press Command V to paste in our sample block. Now I don't want to call this sample block, I want to call this rainbow block. Okay, so now that I've changed the name, I can close this, and it'll ask me to save it, and I said yes, I do indeed want to save. Alright, let's take a look at the slide. Alright, pause here is needed. Then moving on to the final slide. We're going to test out our new block in Minecraft. Go back to Eclipse, can run, we're going to have to save, so we select OK to save. And it's loading. Okay, here we are. Is our mod still there? Our mod is still there. Good, looking good. So we have to make a new world in creative mode. It's going to create the world. Okay, so, whoa, I think I might be inside a tree. Right there, right next to a tree. Okay. Still rendering a little bit. Okay. Alright, so, wow, that's a pretty arch. Okay, so now I can press E for a list of items, and I can look for my rainbow. Up there, I see it already. Okay, so here is my rainbow block. I can select that into my inventory. Okay, so now you can see when I Okay, I paused for a moment because for some reason I couldn't place items, but I seem to have solved that problem. So once you have your new block selected, you hold down Control while you click, and then you can place your new block. And I love how this looks when you place them together. Makes a giant rainbow. And I can use Control click. Alright. So I can successfully place my new blocks. Let's look again at the slide. Okay, so happy dance and Minecraft playing or debugging as appropriate once you get that working. Bye for now.